Steve Duron is a lawyer and a father, and he's running for city council because he loves Santa Monica.
Hi, and thank you for joining us on Vote 2012. Steve, thank you for joining us to discuss these issues.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk first about homeless services. That there has been a lot of successful effort put to help the homeless, and yet there are still, sadly, men and women and sadly children without homes. Where do you think we could direct additional services, or maybe rethink and redirect services?
Well, yes. This is a very serious issue, and it's hard because nobody should be homeless. And an unfortunate fact is that there are several that are. I want to commend Councilmember Schreiber for the work he's done with homeless veterans and putting them in the, getting them off the street and getting them to the Veterans Hospital. My wife and I feel very strongly about this, and we've given support to Upward Bound, which is here in Santa Monica, which focuses on homeless families, getting them off the street, getting them resources they need so they can live off the street permanently. And that's where I would like to focus the attention of the city, because we have limited funds, we have a responsibility to all the residents. And I'd really like to do something for our least fortunate residents as well.
Now here's an easy question with a hard answer. Do you think Santa Monica has a traffic problem? And if so, how would you address it?
Yes, it does have a very bad traffic problem. And what I would want to do is, well, first let me start by saying that my wife and I want to support businesses and local restaurants, and sometimes it's hard to get to them. It's hard to get to places on Wilshire or the 3rd Street Promenade or on Lincoln Boulevard. You can't find parking, and it takes you a long time to get there. I would want to form a commission that's dedicated strictly to addressing the issues of traffic congestion. Then I would also want to look at outside-the-box solutions for improving traffic. I would like to look at getting rid of left turn lanes to help flow down the main corridors during rush hour. I would also, this might be radical, but I think we should look at the feasibility of turning these corridors into one-way streets, at least during rush hour traffic, and seeing if that would improve the situation.
Okay, a loss of funding because of redevelopment monies not coming to us anymore allows two choices: either cut services or increase revenues. What would be your choice, and outline the services you would cut or the revenues you would tap?
Thank you. Yes, I would obviously want to increase revenues. The state economy has made us cut so many programs already. I would do everything I could to prevent that from happening. But I think that there are additional places where we can get revenues that we haven't. I think there is too much development happening in this city, but for the development projects that are going forward, I think we should put the onus on developers to provide more for the needs of the residents. Any impact that a developer is going to have on the city or its residents should have a compelling benefit, or I want to prove it. And I think that we could generate revenues that way.
Well, Santa Monica has become increasingly upscale, and yet the city is building subsidized housing. Mm-hmm. Do you think that this contributes to a polarization in the city? And it has in other cities in the country. And why would it do that, or why not? How can we avoid this polarization?
Well, I think one of the greatest assets that the city of Santa Monica has is its people and its diversity. And it is because of things like rent control that happened back in the 70s that has promoted that. Because this is such a diverse place, there are so many great things. It has made the city so wonderful. In terms of the development, the problems I see are that with the new residential developments that are being built, what we find happening is many of them are singles and one-bedrooms. And so what that ends up doing is making a transient society. When I was working for John Kerry's campaign, I was in Las Vegas at the end of the campaign, and one of the biggest problems in Las Vegas was that it was a transient society. They had people that moved in, 4,000 moved in every month, 4,500 moved out every month. The problem was there were no roots being planted. that's the same issue that's going to happen here in Santa Monica if all of its developments are allowed to continue. We're going to have people that families won't be able to go anywhere. Where will the seniors go? And so what I want to do is do things for the city that would keep the roots here, keep the families and the community here. It's very important for our future.
Thank you very much, Steve.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.